greeting of this day to all the students. I am Mamta Sagar from Department of Bioinformatics. So I am going to teach you today the public awareness and challenges ahead topic in the environment science subject. So there is a need for public awareness. What is this meaning? Means we need to be more aware. Why it is required? Because nowadays we are facing the consequences of the environmental degradation, environmental hazards, but we are not aware. The people who are suffering that comes in the close proximity of the environmental hazards, but indirectly we are also suffering from these consequences, but we are not aware about this. So we need to be aware, we need to be careful, because day by day environmental problems are increasing. So if not corrected at the time and the corrective measures are not be taken, so there will be the extinction of the life from the earth. So gradually it will be increased. So it is also necessary to face the various environmental challenges. So we need to face the environmental challenges. Why? Because we should correct. Because we are living in this environment, so that is our duty to correct the environment, to make the environment so that it can be the living atmosphere for all the creatures that are living on the earth. So we should make this earth eco-friendly. We should make the environment eco-friendly. What is eco-friendly? So that all the creatures on this earth that have been born on this earth, they should live freely on this earth, and their needs should also be fulfilled on this earth. So the major challenges ahead are the following. So what are the challenges? So the major cause behind all the problems, all the environmental problem, that is population explosion. This is one of the potential cause, because all the problems that are occurring, that we are facing in the environment, that is due to this. So a population of over 1,000 of millions is growing 2.11% every year. So this is the data. So over 17 million people are added each year. So India accounts for the 16% of the world population. So you can compare this population with the land area. So if the population is increasing day by day, so we need the more land. We need more land to make the home for the shelter. We need to grow the more crops. So the need will be increased. So requirement and need is also increasing day by day, and there is a population that is decreasing, that is increasing day by day. But land or earth, the fertile land is fixed for that. Okay. So that is not increasing day by day. So we have the accessible area on the earth, because 70% is the water area on the earth. So land that we can use, that is 30% earth surface we can use for the living creatures. So some of the animals are also living in the water also, but that is another thing. But if we think about the human population, that needs the land area to stay there. So this is the major problem for the population, human population. So this makes the considerable pressure on the natural resources, because our natural resources are limited. They are our treasure, and we are utilizing, that is getting reducing day by day. So reducing the gain of the development. Hence the greatest challenge before us is to limit the population growth. So this is the one. Actually the population growth is the one of the potential cause, because we need the more resources, we need the more land, we need the more everything, we need more for the increased population. We need home. So in that way we use the agriculture field for making home. So this is very hazardous. We are utilizing the agriculture field for making home, that is fertile land. So we should not use the fertile land for the urbanization, but urbanization is also taking place on the green belt. So this should not be. We should not violate the law. So we should. This is the thing. We need to be aware. We need to adhere to the laws. Laws is there, but there is no enforcement of laws, especially in India or developing countries. This is the problem of developing countries, because they are not aware about their rights. So they have the right to live in the a good environment, and there is the laws and there is the act, but their enforcement is not there. Okay, especially in the developing countries. So although the population control does automatically lead to development. So if we control the population, everything will be in our control, but we have no control on our population growth. So this is true about the developing countries. So developed countries are not facing this problem because they have control on their population. They have the limited resource. They have limited resource. Still they are living the better life. Why? We have the more natural resources. In the South Asia, we have the good resource of food or everything. So we are getting in the more amount. Still we face the problem. Still we face the water scarcity in some of the area of the India or some of the area. But what is this? Because our management is not good. We need to manage our resources. We need to manage everything. But we do not have the control on our population, so it's very difficult to manage. Okay. So yet the development lead to the decrease in the population growth rate. Okay, the more development, okay, if the peoples are aware, if the people become educated, so they keep control on the population. We are controlling our population, but actually it is only in the some of the area. The urban area, they are keeping control. They used to keep control on their population, but in some of the area it is not applied. So we need to aware the people or the population regarding this in the tribal areas or in the village area or rural area. The future population growth has to be linked to the resource base in order to have sustainable development. So it should be linked. We should think about the sustainable development. What is sustainable development? We should use the resources in that way so that it can fulfill the requirement of present generation and while meeting the requirement of future generation also. So that is the sustainable development. Poverty alleviation. Poverty is increased because of the increasing population. We have the poverty in the developing countries. India has often been described. So this is a rich land with the natural resources, but this is the rich land with the poor peoples also. Why there is so much variation when we have the lot of natural resources? So we have the treasure, so but we are not managing those resources. We are not using it carefully. Okay, so that is the problem of there is a okay, poverty elevation. So challenges, degradation of the okay. So India is the land that have the natural treasures, but as well as the rich land of the poor peoples also. So why this is environmental degradation are interdependent. So that is all dependent. When floods comes, so they are all the poor peoples are getting affected by that. More people are getting affected in the India. The vast majority of our peoples are directly dependent on the natural resources. So they are living in those natural resources and serving for the country also. They are providing the resources for, they are taking care of the forest, but what we are giving them in for their life. So we are unable to help them because of their lack of awareness. We should increase the education. Education is the one of only tool that we can give them to make the aware. those people. So they are aware about the natural resources, but they are not aware how we should use. They are not good in the business. Some of the population of urban area are taking the benefit of that. Okay, they are uneducation, because these people are uneducated. They used to sell their product, sell the forest product at very low cost. So our businessman, a big businessman, they are taking benefit of their lack of awareness. So we need to aware those peoples also, tribal peoples, rural peoples, those who are living near to the forest. As about 60% of the Indians are poor, so why this is too much population that is poor. So we need to aware that if we are educated, we need to aware those peoples about their rights, or about the environment, or especially we should say, we should teach them also though how to manage the resources, how to do the business, how to serve in the country, because there is a lot of resources, there is a lot of medicine, there is a lot of things there that they can also contribute in the economy of the India, economy of the developing countries. So they can also contribute if we educate them properly, because only the 30%, like this is 65%, so the rest of the 35% taking benefit from them, because they are taking product at a low cost. Okay, but these people deserve more. India are the poor, and about 40% of our people are still below the poverty. So this is the reason behind that. Environmental degradation has adversely affected the poor, who depend upon the natural resources of their immediate surrounding. So these peoples, the tribal peoples, are those who are living, the poor are living in the immediate surrounding of the, if the flood come, they used to face the challenge, they are getting affected by that. So the peoples who are living in the urban area, they are not going to affected by them, but they are serving the country, they are providing us the so many medicines, so many product to the urban area, but they are not getting the benefit of that. Or immediate, if there is the immediate danger, ultimately they have to face the danger, because they are living in the close proximity of the forest, or on that area, or on that surrounding. The challenge of poverty, and the challenge also, they remain the poor because of these cause, they remain the poor, so will remain the poor for the next century also. So the challenge of poverty and challenge of the environment degradation are the two facets of the same challenge. Challenge of property is the one thing, challenge of environment, so that is linked. We should also work on the population to increase the awareness among that. We should educate them, so that will also help us, help the developing countries to face the challenges of the environment degradation. So the population growth is essentially a function of poverty. So one of the major causes is population growth also. So second cause we have discussed, that is the lack of education or awareness. Okay. Agriculture growth, the people must be acquainted with the methods to sustain and increase agriculture growth without damaging the environment. So they should be aware, they should be educated. The tribal people, the rural people should get education about that, about the methods, so that we can increase the agriculture growth without damaging the environment. Sometimes the people send their pet animals for overgrazing, so that causes the environmental damage. Sometimes the grazing on the precious crops, precious herbaceous plants, or so that although they are aware about that, but the animals are not aware about that. So they should be educated regarding that, how they should keep the animals, or how they should do the agriculture. Okay. Fertilizers, pesticides are causing major threats to the environment in the form of soil and water pollution. Okay. So fertilizers, soils are damaging because every year we use the fertilizers, so we use to add the chemicals in the soil, so they that extract the nutrients of the soil in the one crop, so that so day by day the soil become like barren, So fertility is going to be decreased, and there is the water pollution also, because the water, if the water percolate to the land, that is polluted water, like sewage or that water, contaminated water should not be used for the agriculture. So it is evident that it is very difficult, and these chemicals will be kept out of the soil. It should be kept out of the soil, water and food chain. So this should not go in the food chain. Actually, there is the food chain. What is food chain? Like we take the food from plants, okay? Primary consumers take the food from animals. Then primary consumers are eaten by the secondary consumers, like the mouse. Mouse is eaten by the cat. Cat is the secondary consumers, and cat is eaten by the fox. Dog is eaten by the fox. So this makes the food chain. So chemicals should not go in the food chain, because the dog is eating the harmful chemicals, so that will go in the fox. Then fox will be eaten by the lion, that will go in that. Sometimes if we also the human population is also consuming the non-vegetarian food. So ultimately this will go, the chemical will go in the food chain, so that will harmful chemicals will go in the human body also. So nowadays you are seeing the consequences of the corona. So that comes from the animal also, because in the China they are eating the different kind of animal food, non-vegetarian food. So this will cause the serious damage to the physical structure of soil also, or to human population that way. Protecting groundwater from the pollution. So this is the need. We need to be aware about how we should protect the water from the pollution. We should not pollute our drinking water. So in the river, some of the industry that are what they used to do, the industry, they used to keep the sewage or industrial effluents in their tank. Then they used to pour those industrial waste into river or the seas. So what happened there? The fishes or the aquatic animals used to consume those chemicals. That industrial effluents contain a lot of harmful chemicals, so that is consumed by the fishes or aquatic animals. So human population also depend on the aquatic animals for their food requirement. So in the Bengal, or in the population that is living near the river area or in the coastal area, so they are dependent on the aquatic food. So indirectly they are consuming those harmful chemicals. So, and our drinking water is also getting polluted, the river water, or so most of the population dependent on those water. Nowadays the ponds are collapsed. So finding suitable strategy for construction of water, provision of safe drinking water, and keeping water bodies clean, which are difficult challenges ahead. So these are the challenges. We need the safe drinking water, or the safe water for that is used in the agriculture. So that water should be safe and should be chemical free. That water should be fresh water. So rainwater harvesting and water management can help to extent in this regard. So there is actually we have the more amount of water on the earth. 70% of the water, that is the water. 70% of the earth is water. But what happens, the industry that contribute to the pollution by pouring the industrial effluents in those bodies, in the water bodies, like the sometimes it is pond. Nowadays ponds are getting collapsed due to this pollution, or river, especially it is river and seas, because the water is there is the water cycle. So indirectly we are going to affected by them. So that is causing serious damage, or there is the entry of the harmful chemicals in the food chain. So rainwater, there is lot of water. We can harvest the rainwater for the irrigation. We can use that water for the irrigation purpose. That is also good water. So we can apply the good water management technique that is harmful for the society. So there is a lot of education program that is taught at the IIT or good institution like water management, water resources, development and forest. So we should also take care of our forests. Forests are our natural treasure. So because we are dependent on our for our food requirement on the plants. Okay. So vast area of the forest in many states are now converted as agriculture land for the growing hilly vegetables and the plantation crops and mining. So there is a we are using the land for mining, like we need to have the mineral resources. To extract the mineral resources, we do the mining, and so that is related to the land, and we are growing the vegetables or the crops for the populations. So we need to take care of these resources. These are areas to be brought back under forest cover. The tribal communities inhabiting forest respect the trees and birds and animals that give them sustenance. So this population, actually tribal peoples used to care them because they are living in that environment. They are aware about that, how we should keep our forest, how we should keep our animals, or okay, we should take care of. But there is lack of communication among the urban population or the tribal population or the government. Government are doing the good effort that they are making the joint forest management committee that is contributing, but we need to focus more on that actual executable plans, so that the plans can be executable in all the ways. So we must recognize the role of these people in restoring and conserving the forest. Actually, what happened, we used to blame those people because we are also unaware how much contribution they are giving. But there is sometimes I think there is a lack of communication between those peoples and the other urban peoples. So some the greedy peoples used to take the benefit of that. They businessmen, generally they are the businessmen, so they used to keep the product from the forest product or at very low cost. Okay, so that's why within the India we have so much variation. Like some people are very rich and some people are very poor. So this is one of the cause behind the poverty also. The modern knowledge and skills of the forest department should be integrated with the traditional knowledge and experience of the local community, because they also have the good experience. They are living without going to the hospital. They are doing their treatment. They are taking their food from the forest. So they are not dependent on the urban population for their living. Okay, living style, because their living style is like that. They are self-sufficient. So they think that sometimes there is a problem that is created by the urban population to them. So they do not believe on the urban population. So this communication gap should be minimized by the education. So we need that kind of education. So we must recognize the role of these people in restoring and conserving the forest. They are contributing a lot. So we cannot say that they are not aware. So there is a lack of communication. We came to know about this when we have tried to communicate with them. So the strategy for the joint management of forest by the government officials and tribal people should be evolved in a well-planned way to implement afforestation. What is afforestation? There is the more if we have cut down the tree, if we cut down the tree for the timber, for the furniture, so we should plant the trees also, more trees in return. That is called afforestation, but we don't do that. Okay, on the name of the plantation, we used to plant one tree or two tree and then take the snap, then take the photos that should be published in the newspaper. So that is happening. And how much trees we are cutting down? We never count, but we count how much we are planting. 1 or 2 trees we are planting, but we used to take the photographs. So we should be aware what we are doing. Okay, there's a lot of people who are conserving our forest, tribal people, but their picture, their photos have never been captured and have never been published in the newspapers. Degradation of land. So what it is at the present, out of the total 329 mega hectare of land, so only the 266 mega hectare possess any potential for the production. So this is the data that is given about the production, the productivity. So the land, part of the land that is productive. So and 85 mega hectares suffer from the varying degrees of the soil degradation. So this is the data which explain how much land is unproductive, how much land is productive. Okay, and what we should nearly 406 million head of livestock have to be supported. Okay, on 13 mega hectare or less than 4% of the land classified as partial land, most of which is overgrazed. Okay, what is being discussed here? There are a lot of data that is given, the fertile land, non-fertile, productive land. Okay, so the part of the land is also given here, that is overgrazed. So out of the 226 mega hectare, about 175 mega hectare, 66%. So here you see 66%. That is important. 66% is degraded to varying degrees. Means what we have concluded about this data, that 66% degraded to varying degrees. Water and wind erosion causes further degradation of almost about 150 mega hectare. That is, this degradation is to be avoided. So we should avoid the degradation. This is the data, but what is the cause behind that? We should focus on that. So data is explaining the how we are contributing, contributing for the land degradation. So we should stop the land degradation by using the corrective measures or whatever the measurement we can use. Reduction of genetic diversity. So indirectly, so all the causes, the increased human population, degradation of land, everything that we have discussed before this, that is contributing for the reduction of the society. Soil pollution, water pollution, urbanization, deforestation, increased human population. That is the cause behind all the causes. Increased human population. Increased human population is the causes behind all the causes that we have discussed today, and everything that is leading to the reduction of diversity. So what is the ultimate impact? Because in the previous years we have the lot of variety of plants, flowers, or there is a different variety, millions of varieties of flowers or everything. But nowadays that is decreasing day by day. Diversity. What is the diversity? There is a different kind of plant, different kind of flowers, different kind of vegetables, different kind of medicines, different kind of different plants. Okay. So that is genetic diversity. Different creatures like animals, birds. So the variety of those animals or those plants have been decreasing day by day. Immediate measure to the conserve genetic diversity need to be taken at the earliest. At present, most wild genetic stocks have been disappearing from nature. Okay, so some of the birds, some of the plants only you can see the national plant, national botanical garden or national parks. But those plant varieties are not available in the nature because those varieties have become extinct from the nature. So that is only available. Some of the animals you can see only in the zoo, national park, but those animals are not available in the nature. So because the variety have been disappeared from the nature. So we need to focus on that. We need to be aware. And what is the problem? Why you should need to study the environment, sir? Because we people are not aware. We are educated people, but even we do not know which variety is going to be extinct from the nature in the future, in the near future. So we should focus on those variety also, that is on the threat. In the near future, those varieties who are vulnerable. Actually, there is a red data book that contains the list of all the near threatened species, endangered species, extinct species, extinct that has become extinct. But we need to save the variety that is going to be extinct in the future. We need to take the immediate corrective measures. We need to apply them. At present, most wild genetic stocks have been disappearing from the nature. The protected areas network like sanctuaries, national park, biosphere reserve are isolating populations. So, but biosphere reserves are doing well because in the nature they are providing the conservation within the natural conditions, natural area. The area in which the animals are living, the lions are living, that is being protected by that is protected. So animals are living in their natural atmosphere. So they do not happen in the national park. What happens in the national park? This is the accidental mode of conservation. Or in the zoological gardens, there is an unnatural atmosphere. So the animals and plants are not getting their requirements are not fulfilled there. But in the biosphere reserve, we are providing conservation within natural atmosphere, forest. The forest area is being conserved. So remedial steps are to be taken to check decreasing diversity. So we should take so in the biosphere reserve, there is a 3 zone, like outer zone, middle zone or inner zone. So in the core zone, inner zone, there is no entry of the human. In the outer zone, limited human activities allowed, but in the middle zone, no outside population can enter except the officers, and in the core zone nobody is allowed. Okay, so there is a mode of protection, like the forest officer used to work there, and there is a lot of staff that is employed to preserve the forest in the natural atmosphere, that is called biosphere reserve. So we need to save our variety. This is next, evil consequences of urbanization that we have already discussed. So nearly 20% Indians live in the urban areas. Urbanization and industrialization has given the birth to the great number of environmental problems. So we need the urgent attention. So increased human population is cause behind this urbanization. Why we need the more house? We have grown in the population. Now we need the more house. So what we do? We use the agricultural land for urbanization. So what happened in turn? We need the agriculture crop also. We need to do the agriculture to fulfill our food requirement. So what we do? We do the deforestation. We used to cut down our forests for developing agriculture field again. Okay, because we lost our agricultural land in urbanization. Then so in future we used to cut down the forest to fulfill our requirement. So we should think while we are doing the urbanization. So and we should also think on the issues of the population growth. This is the cause behind all the causes. Over 30% of the urban Indians live in slums, and out of India 3,245 towns and cities, only 21 have partial or full sewerage and treatment. So not all the people are living in the good atmosphere because of the high population. We do not have the control on the population, so they are not getting the good facilities, sewerage and treatment facilities, and coping with the rapid urbanization is the major challenge because we have lot of population in the India. This is also true for all the developing countries, in the Asian countries especially. Okay, that is treasure. I am telling you that is the treasure of all the natural resources. We are very rich, that South Asian belt, and developed countries are dependent on these countries, but still there is no poverty. There is a very low poverty in the developed countries, and the land that is full of natural resources. Why the peoples are poor here? Because there is a variation, there is a lack of awareness. So we should increase their awareness. We should educate them. So in the developed country, there is variation is not like that. Poor people, rich people. So there is not too much difference. But within India or within developing countries, there is too much difference. So we should minimize the difference by increasing the education, right education. Okay, the education, what they require, what they need to be taught. So 30% of urban Indians live in the slums. So we need to teach those. So this is also our resource. You can consider your population as a resource. Why you convert them in the responsible individual, so that they can also contribute in the Indian economy. So people said who are living in the slums, you can educate them so they can contribute in the Indian economy. So coping with rapid urbanization is a major challenge. Now the population has been increased, so what we can do? So we should educate our people so that everybody can contribute in the Indian economy or in the economy of all the developing countries. Air and water population, this is also the cause. Pollution. Majority of our industrial plants are using outdated treatment technologies, makeshift facilities devoid of any provision of treating their wastage. So industrial plant, what the industry do not have the skilled staff for treat their waste. So what they used to do, they used to pour those wastes in the nearby river, or so from the river these chemicals flows to the seas. So great number of the cities and industrial area that have been identified as the worst in the terms of air and water pollution. So Kanpur is one of them also. So there are the acts, legislature in the country, but their implementation is not so easy, or especially their enforcement is not done. If anybody cut the tree, nobody complain about that. We keep to quiet. We used to keep quiet about that if anybody is cutting the trees. So we have become habitual of that if anybody is cutting down the trees. So the reason is there, the implementation is great resources, technical expertise, political, social. So with the first of all, enforcement. So first of all, the first reason is the enforcement. We should apply the enforcement. If anybody is causing any harm to our environment, we should complain to the appropriate authority. But first of all, we need to be aware about that. We should know what are the acts, what we can do in that case. Okay, so we need to study about the act and legislature, and we should spread the awareness about those act and legislature that is applying in your country to save our environment, because ultimately we are going to get affected by this hazardous effect of the environmental causes, environmental problem. So we should that is our duty. We should take care of our environment, because we are living in the same environment. The oxygen that you are taking, that is the same for everybody. That is not different. If you are living in the area, the water quality is the same in all the area, so you are all going to affect it. It's not like that you are drinking the safe water and your neighbor is not drinking the safe water. The water that you are drinking, that is the same quality of water, okay, and that is the same quality of air. You can separate the water, but you cannot separate the air. So the air that you are inhaling, that is the same for your neighbor and for you also. So it's a duty of all the individuals. We should take care of our environment. Ultimately, we are inhale, we are breathing in the same atmosphere, so we should take our atmosphere, or we are living in the same area, so we are going to be affected by all the activities. If our neighbor or that activity that is occurring in your nearby areas or in your city, so ultimately you are all going to be affected by that. If any industry is causing any harm, so you are all going to affected by that. So you should do our duties. So first you should be aware about what are these acts, what are these laws. So there is, okay. So the lecture was prepared by using these notes, ICR Environment Study ebook. You can also download this ebook from the internet. I will also send you the link about this. Okay, so nowadays, for today, this lecture is over.